Hello and welcome back to ASX Market Watch and charting trend signals around the world. This is where we look at the entire world from a Chartist point of view, guys. Absolutely fantastic to have you here. We're looking at the All Ordinaries, the Dow Jones, obviously, all the S&P 500, the FTSE in Europe, the Hang Seng in Asia, in Hong Kong, and possibly the Nikkei and the Shanghai Composite as well around China and Japan. Guys, awesome stuff. And really quickly, last week on the All Ordinaries, very simple stuff. All we did was the market crossed above its 150-day moving average. It also crossed above, if you can see that, that's the downtrend line, that dotted line there. So it crossed above both of those things. And now the market has just traveled sideways over the last week. So it's still holding above the 150-day moving average, which is fantastic. I have a feeling there'll be a lot more positive price action from here on in. But yeah, that's your early sort of signal that we got last week. That would mean that 3 out of 4 stocks potentially will start to be heading up over the next week or so. At least that's according to that particular signal. Now, one thing to be very wary of is this little bar here. This bar here is, let's see if we can just get back to that one. See how it starts low, goes up throughout the day, and closes low as well. Guys, that's just going to give us a bit of resistance at that level, and that'll be at approximately 4,450 there. So just be mindful of that. But in the meantime, when you get a trend signal, it does pay to follow it, and that's exactly what I've done. Started buying stocks again over the last 2 to 3 to 4 weeks, and it's been absolutely fantastic so far. Really good times. A lot better than being in the market from May to August this in 2011, where it was very bad times. We called the downtrend in May. We called another downtrend in August as well, it did pay to be out of the market during those times. Guys, fantastic stuff. The Dow Jones, not rocket science in any way, shape or form. We did call a new uptrend, and that would have been around about 3 weeks ago. And as you can see, the market it's now making beautiful up moves. And sometimes it does start slowly, but yes, it definitely has. It has taken off now. And the reason why we did call that just there is, this is our downtrend line, and obviously it had crossed above the 150-day moving average, which is another really good sign. All of these are just trend signals, like they're signs that the trend is turning, and that's all you're looking for. It's just putting the weight of probability on your side. Not hard to do. But apart from that, that's the reason why we did make that signal. And also, if you want to look at patterns, here's your little head and shoulders sort of deal. Beautiful. A little reverse head and shoulders. Technically, if we were to look at a pattern projection from this, and I'll just put that would potentially give us 100% from this particular move, which would again mean that would be about 13,290. So on the Dow Jones, that's potentially what we could be looking for as a target based on that particular pattern. Keep a very close watch on that. But in the meantime, the trend does remain up. Same deal on the FTSE. As you can see, we did have like a very similar thing, little reverse head and shoulders, and there, that's just enlarged there for you as well. Now, again, with a pattern based on that, we could expect, let's have a look, from there to there, and again, because the market is starting to really head up, the potential pattern target from that would be 6,250 on the FTSE. So again, that's something to be very mindful of. There's going to be a lot of resistance around the 6,000 level. It's a big psychological round number. And also look at all that previous resistance there. There's a lot of selling at that number. But in the meantime, the trend does remain up. We called that uptrend probably about 3 weeks ago as well on the FTSE, right about there. Very simple stuff. And yeah, basically, again, when you do get a trend signal, it does pay to follow it, because you may not be right every time, but again, it's just putting the weight of probability on your side, which is what we're after. Now, again, let's have a really quick look at the Hang Seng in Hong Kong. This is a good indicator of the Asian region of China. This is our downtrend line that was crossed. We got an early signal. Over the last 2 weeks, we got an entry signal, and that would have been around about here at about 20,100. We did call it a couple of weeks ago, and now, as you can see, the market is just starting to head up from there. If we were to give ourselves a bit of a target for this particular pattern, let's have a really quick look. First target would be 21,600 on the Hang Seng, so that's about 1,000 points away right now, which is fantastic. An upper limit target would be 24,000 on the Hang Seng. Awesome! So that means it potentially has a good way to go. But again, when you do get your trend signal, you do just have to follow it and manage your risk accordingly once you're in the trade. Apart from that, guys, the Nikkei, really quickly, last week we said that it would find a lot of resistance or selling pressure at the 150-day moving average. That's exactly where it has. As you can see, the market is just sort of consolidating around that 150-day moving average, which is the green one here. Now, apart from that, there is going to be a lot of resistance at the downtrend line, and that's the downtrend line. So that level is going to be 9,150 on the Nikkei. So it's almost made an uptrend signal, not really according to my particular rules, maybe according to some people's. But yeah, so that would still be, I'm still waiting for a close, like a little zigzag pattern here. And if it does close above that level, which is around 8,920, then that would be a short-term entry signal, but be very, very careful just because there is that overhanging resistance there. So that's the world from a Chartist point of view, guys. Fantastic stuff. Have a great week. Happy trending, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.